Greetings fellow human beings. Today, I'll be showing you how to draw in my style. I'll be taking the drawing done by someone I know and converting it into my style. If you use Paint 3D on your laptop like I do, then what you want to do is select your pencil tool and select the 6 pixels. Make sure that the color you're using is black. Now, when you're drawing your character, if they're looking up, you always have to make sure that you draw this slanted line here, indicating that they're looking up. But it also depends on who you're drawing looking up. So if it's a female looking up, you'd want to make it look less square and less huge, and just have it like a small curve here, and then just slant down there, and that would look more, a little closer to being more feminine. Well, I don't really know much about that, because I'm more accustomed drawing guys, although I am capable of drawing females as well. Another thing you'd want to get right is the outline of the face looking up or looking to the side. Where the eyebrows will be, you make sure to make a small curve here, and then right when at the point where there's going to be the eyes, you just bring in the line there and just slant it down on the side there to the cheeks. Now, drawing the face, if your intent is to make it look more realistic, when you're drawing the eyes, make sure that you make the eyes smaller than how you'd usually draw them, while still being a considerable size. So the eyes wouldn't be going all the way out here to the end of the face and all the way up here. If it were to look more realistic, once it reaches about this point here, that's where you'd stop drawing the eye and you make it small like that. Then about this point, that's where you draw the eyebrow and make it smaller up to here, as shown with what I did in my drawing. As for the nose, once you reach at this point here, make sure you draw that small line indicating that there's a shadow at the back there, and then you just do that tiny curve up there. And I like to draw with the pencil because when I do it with that, it gives it more of an impression that there is a shadow there. Also, sometimes for more precision, for the nose and the mouth, when you're drawing it, make sure you do it at 5 pixels, because 6 pixels it may not always come out good, you know. Now, moving on to the rest of the body. If you're trying to draw in a more realistic manner, then it's important to know, better understand the anatomy of the human body. So after drawing the neck, there'll be this part. If you're drawing a male, this part will be a lot broader and a lot more curved up here. But because it's female, we slant it down like this, and then we draw the shoulder. We don't draw the shoulder too broad. Then after drawing the shoulder, there's this second part of the arm here, and the third part here. After this third part, that's where the hand comes in. Now, a lot of people seem to have trouble drawing hands. If you do have trouble drawing hands, don't overthink it. You can either just draw a circle for a fist, or you can just curve it in that shape to look like the hand is open, and then draw the lines on that. You really don't need to put in that much effort when it comes to that. Then from there, you add the other side that has the third part. You draw that second part there, and then you just draw a small little line here. And because they're tilting to the side like that, you don't make this part of their body as long as this part, and you make this shoulder a little shorter in length. Of course, when you're drawing the females, you can't forget this part. When you're drawing this part here, make sure that it isn't too close to the breast. When you're drawing the tentacles blowing in the wind, make sure that at the end you draw the kind of triangular looking thing at the end that kind of curves, you know. Also, try to have it slant a little more. Usually, a lot of times when I add color to the drawings, I simply use the paint bucket tool. However, in certain cases, if they're wearing something different, like jeans, I'd use the oil brush tool. For the ears, I don't really do much. I usually just add one line. Or two, sometimes. The second line is usually a lot smaller and on the other side. For the eyes, I usually take the pixel pen and just curve it. For the backgrounds, in a lot of cases, I would usually just draw it in advance. I would copy the character's outline, and then I would paste it onto the background. But when I'm feeling really lazy, for the ground, I use the crayon tool to give you the impression that you're seeing rocks. And for the sky, I use the watercolor tool. If you look closely, you'd notice that the watercolor, in some cases, overlaps with the body of the character I'm drawing. Which is why, in a lot of cases, it's kind of important to draw the background in advance and then add your characters after. It really comes in handy. But yeah, so you challenged me to draw lineless. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, but not in the way you'd expect. So I tried to make it look like it was lineless, but it still has some parts, a lot of parts that looks to have lines. But you have to remember that the lines I drew there were very thick. So even if I erase off certain parts, like it would still have some parts left that show lines. And now, time for the shading. So this time around, I tried to improve my shading just a little bit. For the tentacles, I drew the white lines and stretched them out so they'd be a lot more blurred, giving the impression that they were kind of moist and that the light was reflecting on it. I also added the shadows to the parts that needed it, like under the chin, this side by the ears, this part by the neck, and of course on the side here by the right eye. But yeah, you wouldn't always see this kind of detail in all my drawings, because in a lot of cases there'd be a lot of frames I would need to draw and whatnot. So yeah. But the new animatic may not be ready until a couple days now, maybe in a week from now, because, well, I'm still waiting on the voice acting from others I know who are willing to help. But still, in the meantime, there will be other types of videos. I'm planning on doing a video, Switch versus 3DS, and then after that, I'll do Dragon Quest 11, the Dragon Ball game in disguise. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, love you all, and see you next time.